Yo, Counter Attack podcast with myself, Daps. Guys, keep liking, subscribing, sharing, all of that good stuff. Yeah, we're just gonna crack on another one. We're into another week, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I've really been trying with the content and giving it to you every day. Not every day. I've not done 5 days in a row yet. I've done 3 and 4, not 5, but we're gonna get there. But you know, it's working, and you guys are. The engagement is back. Well, it's getting there again. So we're just gonna keep building it up. But yes, yeah. Make sure you press that like button and subscribe button if you haven't already done so. If you haven't checked out the Laurence Vigeroux podcast, that's the one, the Burnley goalkeeper. Burnley goalkeeper, I had him on last week. I released it on Thursday last week. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure you go and do that. And yeah, we're here. So obviously it's going to be another 15-minute video for you guys. And for those of you who are listening to this on audio right now, you're going to be thinking, oh, this guy's not been posting. I keep saying I'm going to put it on the audio sites, but I don't. But yeah, if you've been wondering where I've been, I'm literally on YouTube. And because these episodes are shorter, I don't really put them out on audio, but I'm going to be doing that from now. But anyway, Manchester Derby. Guys, we're going to start there. And what I will say about the Manchester Derby is that I think I've got a guest tomorrow. I've got a podcast. I should be, unless the guest cancels, but I should have a guest tomorrow. And what we normally, I'm going to break down, the specifics in that one. But what I would say in regards to United, I'm just going to keep it very high level, is that I forgot who they were playing, but they scored, it might have been Brentford. I forgot who they were playing, but they scored 2 last-minute goals. McTominay scored 2 last-minute goals, and then I remember saying they're papering over the cracks. They then beat another team. I forgot. They then beat another team, papered over the cracks. I said it again. I said the same thing. FC Copenhagen during the week, again, even though they won, they had the penalty saved in the last minute or whenever it was. I said again, they're papering over the cracks and there's big problems, and City are going to move to them if they don't fix up in the next couple of days. What happened today? City moved to them. Outside of the first 6-7 minutes, it was just total domination. And I never once thought that Man United were going to get back in there or they had any bits of control in that game. So yeah, like after the first 6 minutes, there was no control from United at any point. No sustained moments of pressure from United. Nothing. It was just total City dominance. And I want to talk about a player in particular, Bernardo Silva. And Bernardo Silva is a manager's dream. He's Pep's dreams. And hearing the interview after with Haaland and Bernardo Silva, Haaland said he loves Bernardo Silva just like Pep loves him. And you can see why Pep loves him. No matter what position you put Bernardo Silva in, he's good. Bernardo Silva is just a wonderful footballer. He's going to give you a 7, 8 out of 10 every single game. Like his performances are on such a high level that it makes it seem like it's normal right now. And it's not normal what this guy does on the ball. Anywhere you put him, he just knits everything together. And yeah, I tweeted that I felt like we need to have a conversation about Bernardo Silva. And those of you that listen to this podcast know that I big him up for years. I've been bigging this guy up. But someone tweeted me back saying that we do appreciate him and I don't think people do. I think that when he has blatantly outstanding performances like the one against United yesterday, or today, sorry, whatever it was, everyone's like, oh yeah, he's a good player. But what he does on a normal, I feel like it just goes under the radar a lot of the time. And there's a reason why Pep, no matter how many times this guy's linked with a move away, he's got one foot out there. Pep's always like, no, stay, come back, like one more season. Because he's just really, really good. He's really, really good at football. So I just wanted to big him up on that. Gary Neville also mentioned on like with the post match stuff, when they asked him what went wrong, he straight away went to, how can I put this? Okay, when they asked Gary Neville what went wrong with the match, he straight away went to talking about how Ten Hag's coming to an unstable environment. What's going on in the boardroom and that is having an effect on what he's doing. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. At what point is Gary Neville going to look at Ten Hag? At what point is Gary Neville going to be like, do you know what? Yes, there's problems over there, but we still have to do something on the pitch. You still have to sort out the players on the pitch. And I don't think he's ever going to do that. He's just so against giving Ten Hag any sort of responsibility in regards to the loss, like, or the performances. And even like some of the changes. I don't know if Amrabat was actually injured, but if Amrabat wasn't injured, choosing to take him off at halftime, if he wasn't injured, was a shocking move. Do you get what I'm saying? Choosing to when the second half started, you've taken Amrabat off, but you put Bruno in the position of being the one that has to track people and that has to track people back. And because of that, Bernardo's gone and scored the goal. I mean, Bernardo's got round him, set up Haaland for the second goal. Like, there's so many things wrong when you're looking at his transfers that he's brought in as well. And he's been backed. He's been backed majorly. But the transfers have not been great transfers. He's brought, look, we'll talk about Anthony. And Anthony, you see Anthony, listen, I'm tired of coming on this podcast and talking about Anthony because that kick he did to Doku, I'm not going to lie, he should have been off. He should have been off. I'm going to say that because it was stupid. There's no intent for the ball whatsoever. He just wanted to hack a man down. And then after that, he wants to be hitting. It's just petulance. It's just petulance. It's young. It's like, what is he doing? Do you get what I'm saying? They've got rid of Anthony Elanga, which is the real Anthony that they should have kept at the club, and kept this Anthony. Nah, Anthony Elanga dodged the bullet. Anthony Elanga actually dodged the bullet with that one, because if they couldn't appreciate Anthony Elanga, but they can appreciate what this guy does and give him game time, no matter how many times he fumbles. Listen, I don't know for this United team, but you know, Grealish had a point to prove today, and I felt like he proved it. I felt like, you know what is with Grealish? I would still like to see him. He doesn't go past people anymore. He doesn't commit people anymore. Today, I felt like he was involved a lot, but it would be nice. I think where people are saying Doku might take his place now, and I hate that I've had to bring Doku into this conversation, is that Doku commits people. Doku can get past people. And Grealish it just doesn't seem like he's got that. But then there's other things he does. Like his link-up play is actually really good when he's on it. He played well today. Haaland, goal machine. Like, what do? You can't stop that. He's too good, Haaland. And yeah, he's a crazy goal machine. But yeah, I feel like United are in trouble. I wanted United to actually win, just so that City are further behind. But obviously, City showed up. Bernardo Silva said in the post-match that City were doing things that against Arsenal. They were like giving the ball away, and how they should have played against Arsenal is how they played today. And yeah, United just didn't have the answers, and City showed up ready. They actually showed up ready. I think Onana actually made a crazy save. That save was really good. Edison's save as well was really, really good. But United are a poor team, man. They're so poor. Honestly, I don't know where they can go from here, because it's not even like they've got players out who are game changers. They don't. The players that they've got out aren't really going to improve anything, if I'm being totally honest. They're not going to do that. Bruno Fernandes, listen. Bruno Fernandes is another one. He whinges, he moans, he's always got his hands up in the air or whatever. He does everything but impact the game in a positive way. He spent the last half hour of that game just going around trying to kick people. There was one moment where he kicked John Stones, tried to leave one in on John Stones. John Stones saw it coming, and Bruno Fernandes ended up the one being injured, and it served him right, because you can't always have something to say, but then when it comes to actually doing the talking on the pitch with your feet, you don't do. Bruno Fernandes hasn't done his job in a very long time, consistently anyway, and it's always everyone else's fault apart from his. In a post-match, No one mentioned him. When you look at other players who are supposed to be the creative players in their team, they're held to a standard that Bruno, for whatever reason, isn't held to. Whether that means people are just giving up on trying to talk about Bruno or whatever, I don't know. But I'm tired of saying that Bruno needs to do more. I think this is him. Some might say he's not helped with the tactics and the way that he's played in that team. Fair enough, but he finds himself in really good positions too many times for it to just be down to the manager or how he's being played. I think he just needs to do more, honestly. So United have deep problems, deep rooted issues. You know, that City is still blue. They dominated that game. At no point did City probably feel like they were in trouble there. No, they look like a different team when Rodri plays, 100%. He's just a different animal. Haaland, like I said, is just a goal machine. But yeah, that's all I've got. Rashford stank up the gaff again today, man. And I hate it, but he did. And I don't know do you know what it is? Rashford is a player that he needs confidence of the team playing well. If the team isn't playing well, do you know what? When the team's playing well and he gets his confidence high, even if the team's not playing well, because his confidence is high, he's an amazing player. When his confidence is high, no one can touch him. He's just, like we saw last year, he just does amazing things. But when his confidence ain't high and the team need him, Rashford's not that guy, because the things that work for him when his confidence is up, obviously they're not there when his confidence ain't there. And United are a team that relies so much, that heavily rely on people's individual brilliance. When you've got someone like Rashford who's going through a hard time and not able to bring that individual brilliance, he just ends up looking like a really bad player. And he's not a bad player at all, but going through a tough time. I'm not going to mention Anthony Martial, because at this point I don't know what Anthony Martial does. Like, someone let me know. To change the game late on, they bring on Anthony Martial and Anthony. I looked at those substitutions and I said, yeah, you might as well bring on centre backs, because they're not going to offer anything. At this point, I don't know what Anthony Martial is offering. And this ain't even me trying to, he needs to go somewhere. He just looks so uninterested. He's just so not bothered. So, yeah, he needs to go somewhere else at this point, because, yeah, it's mad. It's mad. Arsenal. So, Arsenal, to be honest, it was a routine win. It was expected. It was good to see rotation for the Sheffield United match. I feel like had he played the strongest team he could have played in that match, I would have lost the plot. I would have absolutely lost the plot. I think it's good to see Declan Rice in the six. I didn't want to see Declan Rice, Jorginho, and whatever. No, pardon me. But yeah, I think it was a good performance. The people that played well. Eddie got his first Premier League hat-trick, which I was happy for. And the quality of the goals, I can't lie, they were good goals. They were good goals. The first one was the one where he did that touch, the first touch to set up the goal. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. The second one, what was the second goal again? Oh, yes, the second one when he absolutely rifled it in the top corner, 100%. And the third goal from outside the box, man, like, confidence was up. And I think my issues with Eddie is that Eddie's always going to chip in and give you goals. I think you can't win the league with Eddie as your main man, but him and the squad chipping in with those goals, 100%. I don't think Eddie will get you 20 league goals a season for Arsenal, no. At the bare minimum, no. I don't think he'll do that. But he played well, and this ain't even about what he can't do right now. This is just about bigging him up and taking his chance. It was good seeing the two Haaland boys, and then Nketiah and Saka as the captains. Saka and Nketiah, sorry, as the captains. Yeah, and interesting to hear how Odegaard has been struggling with injuries for the last couple of weeks and been playing, hence why he didn't play. And it's nice to know that he's been struggling with injuries, and people have been talking about how he's rubbed out. And imagine the guy that had 22 Premier League goal contributions last year, who's an integral part of our team, all of a sudden he's rubbish and needs to be benched. No. So to hear that he's been struggling with injuries and he was given a rest, that it provides an explanation. But that was a routine win, to be honest. There's not really much to say about that. Chelsea lost. Oh, listen. You see Chelsea, that performance they put in against Arsenal was a really good performance. But to do all that and then only go and get beaten by Brentford was just shocking. I don't think Chelsea looked like they were going to win that game once the first goal went in. They didn't do enough. Brentford defended well. Brentford limited them to a few chances, and it just didn't. It just wasn't a great day for Chelsea. I do want to big up Brentford. Brentford did what they had to do. They came to Stamford Bridge, but Chelsea needed to force the issue, and it's crazy how I don't like speaking about the money that they spend, but to spend that much money and not have game changers that can come off the bench and actually do something and change the game and get you a goal in them circumstances, it's not good enough. But I still think Chelsea are on the way to really challenging for a top 4, top 5 space. I do think come the end of the season they will be there or thereabouts. I think that there's some good things that they do. I think if they just get an upgrade on, like, I don't know if Nicholas Jackson can get the goals, because I like Nicholas Jackson. I think he's going to be a really, really good player. But can Nicholas Jackson has Nicholas Jackson got 20 goals in him? I think right now he probably doesn't. But it's a crazy one. Not crazy one. It's a tough one because these guys need to be given the game time to get to that position where they can be notching 20 goals a season. And like I said, I like Nicholas Jackson. I just think in this moment in time, he needs time to develop and become that striker that I think he can be. But are Chelsea going to give him that time? They're probably not. They're probably going to go out and get someone else who they think will come and be a good number 9, a good striker for them and get those 20 goals, which is going to be a shame. But yeah, Chelsea were, that's Chelsea, innit? Inconsistent as anything. I saw a stat that said this year, something about Brentford have won more times or got more points at Stamford Bridge than Chelsea have, which is wild. Absolutely wild. Mbomo's looking good. Mbomo's looking, people were thinking that without Tony, Brentford were going to be in big trouble. And without Tony, they've definitely missed him because he's a top striker. You don't just not miss top strikers. But Mbomo has done as much as he can to help fill that void because he's been really, really good this season. I think the fact that he's forever still a threat, I felt like before the partnership he had with Tony was a major part of his game. And I felt like without Tony, you wouldn't really see him have as big of an impact. But he's having an impact, man, and he's doing really well. He's carrying that front line, and it just speaks to the quality of him. It speaks to the quality of the team that they're managing to cope without Ivan Toney. And fair play to them, man. Fair play to them. And then when Tony comes back, imagine how much better they might be. Do you get what I'm saying? But big up Mbomo. I haven't got it to hand how many goal contributions he's actually had, but he's been good. He's been really, really good this season. I think I might be making this up, but I think I saw 13 goal contributions. But I might have made that up. I don't know. But big him up. Liverpool won. Was it 3-0 or 3-1? 1 second. Let me see. 1 second. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it was. I was watching the second half of that game. Yeah, 3-0 against Nottingham Forest. And good performance from them, man. Liverpool, listen, let me look at the table even. Premier League table. So Liverpool are 4th and they are 2 points behind. No, 3 points behind. Arsenal are 2 points behind Tottenham. Yeah, man. So Liverpool look like they're good, man. They don't look like they're trying to go away anytime soon. It's tough hearing what happened to Luis Diaz and his family being kidnapped, which is wild, man. But hopefully, prayers up to the family. Hopefully, everything is cool there. But yeah, Jota got on the score sheet. Salah was good. Listen, you see Szoboszlai. I wish Arsenal got him. I absolutely wish Arsenal got Szoboszlai. And I know you guys are probably sick and tired of me talking about this guy all the time, but So Buzz Light is a different kind of player. Buzz Light is different gravy. I don't care what anyone says. He is one of the buys of the season already. I'm saying that now because you just have to look at just watching for 5 minutes and you see all you need to see. He can create, he can shoot, he can pass, he gets stuck in, he's got energy for days, box to box. He is a complete midfielder. Is he complete? If he's not complete and I'm gassing him, then fair enough, but he's near enough. But he's 100% one of the buys of the season, and I wish Arsenal got him. And Liverpool have some player for the next couple of years with him. Yeah. But big up Liverpool on that one. Tottenham was Friday night football, but I did the watch along for that. So I'm not going to go too deeply into that one. But they won again. Crystal Palace were bad. But you can only beat what's in front of you, right? And Crystal Palace were bad and Tottenham beat them. So it is what it is. Who else? Who else have I missed out? Man City, Liverpool. Should I have the conversation about Mikel Antonio? Okay, I want to finish on Mikel Antonio. Listen, West Ham, what was the score with him? Because I watched the first half and bits of the second half. I just have to remind myself of the score. Oh yeah, 1-0. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, yeah. So my thing with West Ham is that I feel like West Ham have so much potential, but the fact that they don't have a striker that can really compete with Antonio right now, I think that's what's killing them. Antonio is, I'm not going to come and say he's rubbish because he's definitely not rubbish. I do feel like his form has maybe been off for a bit and he probably knows that himself. So again, I'm not saying he's rubbish. I don't want him to see this and be like, hey. No, quality player, but his form is not there right now. And I feel like the fact that there's not really anyone that can come in and take his place and really push him and challenge him. Danny Ings, no, I'm not really trying to hear that because he himself ain't really looking at the same Danny Ings. I think that's where their problems are. I think Mikel Antonio, I feel like let me start again. I feel like with Mikel Antonio, David Moyes is persisting with him, hoping that the form will change overnight, hoping that the form in one game is just going to come back. But he's struggling right now. He's struggling, and I feel like that's a big part of West Ham's problem. I feel like what you need or what you ask from Mikel Antonio, he's just not even giving you that right now. You know, the power in running in behind and holding up play, bringing people into the game and getting goals. He's not doing that right now, and he's having a tough time. And today he got substituted after before an hour he got substituted, and I wasn't even surprised by that. I think Braithwaite had a really, really good game against him. I felt like he was aggressive in his defending, and Mikel Antonio just didn't want it. And it's surprising because normally that's the sort of challenge he relishes, but he just wasn't on it today. So I don't know if they're going to go out and get a striker in the window. I don't know what they're going to do, but they need to find a problem for that soon. But yeah, guys, that's me. I'm going to go into the game in more depth, and we're going to talk about everything across the board tomorrow with my guest, unless he cancels. And I've got another player, which I will probably put out on Tuesday or Wednesday. But yeah, guys, that's it for me. I'm out.